John, back at the light board again.
Matt, feels like home.
I know, exactly. I wanted to explore a little bit our SOC and MDR services. I'm not sure the channel really understands the expanse and depth of things that we do and some of the more complex environments we get in. I know you've got some unique perspectives on some of the things we do in that world.
Yeah, we are winning, and we're winning in a big way for a couple of big reasons, right? So big's the theme here when we talk about security. Right. First is we tailor our solutions. Security is not a one-size-fits-all, and there's not some magic tool or magic bullet to solve all your needs. However, we also do want to shrink and reduce the amount of tools that we have.
Tool sprawl is becoming a problem for people.
Right, we call it vendor fatigue. So we bring best of breed. We help standardize on industry-leading platforms. The third piece here is we're flexible. So not only are we tailoring our solutions and bringing best of breed, we also understand that our customers have an investment in certain amounts of tools, or they need custom run books.
Yep.
They need our help, and we want to meet them where they're at. So let's start talking about what is it? What is the technology, and what makes us so good at what we do? Well, the first concept here is, what am I collecting data from, right? You got to secure everything in your network. What does it mean to secure it? Well, first, what are we securing? We're securing endpoints, all right? We're securing, the actual network stack itself from a router, a LAN switching, right? We got to secure the network.
Servers.
Sure. We've got our compute. What else are we securing here, Matt? What else are we collecting data from? How about you, the employee, right? We want to talk about,
gotcha.
Maybe this is my attempt at drawing a fingerprint inside of it, right? But we got identity. And then also, what do you do every day, right? What are you connecting to?
Applications.
Right. So we're connecting to, call it apps. So these could be SaaS, these could be in the network, right? We've got to connect to applications. All of these are attack surface, right? All of these can cause issues. All of them we're monitoring and we're collecting data. Now, where do we put?
We just put a SIM in. I thought
data?
we just put a SIM in. It's that simple.
That's what I get from a lot of customers. Yeah, we're good. We have a SIM. Great. So you've got security, incident, event, management platform. You're good to go. Matt, let me ask you, do you have a junk drawer at home?
More than one junk drawer.
You keep your batteries, your pins, your rubber
old
bands,
credit cards, screwdrivers, you name it.
Yeah, all the stuff that you can't throw away, even though you throw it in this drawer and you never go back and look at it. And that's how most of our customers use their SIM tool. And so I call this the junk drawer. You've got to do something with it. We're feeding all of these data points. This is great. I'm correlating all of the data that I'm getting from all of the stuff in my network, and I feel secure. Well, first off, there's a lot of tools out here. And so here's the first place where CBTS is going to bring best of breed. We have built platformization on Palo Alto networks.
Mm-hmm.
We also need to be flexible and help tailor. We have a lot of customers that have Microsoft Enterprise agreements.
Microsoft's everywhere.
That's right. So we've also built here on Microsoft. So these are some of the tools we use. We use Palo Alto Cortex. We also use Microsoft Sentinel.
Whichever fits best for the customer.
That's right. And we're going to start collecting these logs. What's important about this? Well, we have integrations. So these are going to integrate to over 700 different APIs out there in the network monitoring landscape. So we're going to be ingesting from all of your partners, where we can also take from here, logs, traditional syslogs, that sort of environment. This is keeping your data secure, right? So this data store, whether that is on Palo Alto Cortex in their data lake, or if it's Microsoft Azure, back to our flexibility. We can use our tenant in Azure for this storage.
Or we can use a customer.
Or we can use a customer. Here's the other point. When we start talking with customers, how long, right? So we're securing logs. What's our retention? In the past, we say we need a rolling 12 months, right? I want a year's worth of logs. We have a lot of customers saying, well, that costs a lot of money to store for so long. True. So we've used hot and cold storage. Maybe we keep 30 days as hot and then 90 days cold or a rolling 12. Industry will dictate that. But what's funny when I talk with customers, if you remember some of those retail breaches of 5-6 years ago, bad actors came into the network and waited a year, 18 months. We're starting to see that time be less than 24 hours. And so people are less concerned.
That's my understanding is they're moving quicker now.
They're moving far quicker, right? So
but back to the same thing. I've got all this data, even though we've collected it everywhere. What am I doing with it? How does CBTS make sense of that in a useful way?
There you go. So now we've said, hey, not all SIEMs are created equal. We're building best of breed on Palo Alto and Microsoft. We are then using this as a common tool rather than using a built-in security tool for, your EDR or for your Gigamon network monitoring, right? Or all of these different things. We're going to use a centralized tool. That's great. That's a big junk drawer. It's a secure junk drawer, but it's a junk drawer. And this is where CBTS, Security Operations Center, is going to come into play.
Our MDR and SOC services.
That's right. So what is this? This is people. This is CBTS, full-time engineers working 24/7, watching logs. This is automation.
These are build automation runbooks, right?
Right. We want to keep noise down. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I've got people. What do you want these people to do? Well, one of the ways that we can bring a cost-effective enterprise security operations center is by helping filter out some of the noise, helping automate some of those triggers, those responses. The next stage of it. What about incident response? Maybe you don't want me to just let me know, right? What are the things that need to happen? Do you want CBTS as an incident responder coming in and helping clean it out?
Something happens to a server, endpoints, et cetera.
That's right. Yep. Helping you restore, helping you back that up. And so with people, with automation, with our incident response, this is 24/7 eyes on glass. And one of the funny things that we start talking with customers, I always tell them, if you're a CISO, right? Because we're starting to see CISOs report to some CFOs. Through this, right, we are going to be monitoring and alerting. We're going to be looking at incidents. Incidents are going to become events. Events, we take action. And I always joke about this. If you're a CISO, go and talk to your business about how you're getting some 1,000 incidents a day, which typically after we go through, we watch these with our automation tools, we get this down to about 30 events a day. And we typically now need to take action on 8 events a day.
This was actually some data we just got from Palo about a month ago. We went out to their EBC.
That's right.
This was some of the national data they had on their SOC services.
And this is obviously generalized data across the attack landscape, but I always say if you want more funding, go to your CFO and tell them you got 1,000 incidents a day coming into your network. If you want to get a promotion, go and tell them, hey, because of the work I've done, we only get 30 events out of that 1,000. I block 970 incidents a day. And then if you really want to get a raise, tell them, and of those 30, only 8 need to be actioned on.
All right, so the bottom line is we've got the tools, we've got the people, right? You talked about flexible. I know one of the things is, we do this sometimes for after hours for some companies as opposed to full 24/7, et cetera. So talk a little bit, kind of wrapping this up about how we flexibly help companies deliver kind of the business outcomes they're looking for.
Yeah, and so we also provide all of the managed security services that can feed into a SIEM. So a customer might come to us and say, we already are using, let's say, a CrowdStrike for my endpoint. That's great. We will take your third-party logs, and you can send that to us.
Yep.
They may say, but from a networking standpoint, we do still need help. And so maybe that's CBTS managed services where we're helping write your security policies and those sorts of things. I mean, you're still running your third-party EDR, endpoint detection and response here. Endpoint detection and response here. We're helping do identity access management and governance. Maybe you're bringing your own tools. Maybe you need CBTS for help. And then around your application, right, maybe we're coming in and helping do some assessments, right, and understanding, is your application secure? Who can access it? So we're flexible in that what you can bring to the table. You mentioned and alluded to one of the things you might bring to the table are your own people, right? So maybe your Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, will work collaboratively through the same tools and applications to be able to allow us to work as a cohesive unit. So you hand it off to us and we'll take after hours, nights and weekends. Yeah. And so we're winning in the enterprise space because we customize and tailor our solutions to them. We do so on best of breed technologies, but we're flexible to create a 3 to 5 year roadmap and journey of how they can make use of their current investments and get to an immediate secure point while eventually getting to a financial point that makes sense to start to collect.
And then even wrapping professional services around that as well. Oftentimes some of our biggest engagements, we've come with professional services and assessments first, then moving into how we can help.
That's right.
Well, it's a great overview. Thank you very much for taking the time. I hope this has been helpful to the channel here.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.